There are so many injuries in FPL, so today I'm going to take you through my top 5 players that you need to be buying into your FPL team across defenders, midfielders and forwards. What is up everyone, welcome back to another video. FPL Harry here, and today we are having a look at my top 5 players to buy in FPL for game week 8. Before we dive in, 1,000 likes on the video is always the aim, and subscribe if you are new around here. The data taken throughout these videos is all taken from Fantasy Football Scout, who are very kindly sponsoring these videos throughout the season. If you are interested, they are still offering 30% off at the moment, so do check them out. There's a link in the description. Let's go and have a look. If you like data, if you like sort of eye test, if you like podcasts, if you like videos, they have it all. Your one stop shop for everything FPL. Before we dive into my actual 5 players to buy, I know the majority of the comments on this video are not going to be about the 5 players to buy. It's going to be about the injuries that we have in FPL at the moment. So I'm just going to cover them off very briefly, the updates that we have so far on all of them, before we dive into those players I think you should be maybe replacing them with. First of all, we're going to start in defense. Sven Botman. Botman has been pretty much ruled out of game week 8 in the weekend. Of course, after game week 8, remember, there is the international break, and then it is game week 9 after that. So there is a 2-week gap between game week 8. So when managers are saying a player is out for a few weeks, it might mean that they only miss one FPL game week. Botman has been ruled out of game week 8. At the moment, at time recording, we would say he is a doubt for game week 9, but it could be possible that he is back for then. He has had a knee injury that continues to flare up. That is the issue that he has had. So he's not going to play this weekend. The chances are he will be a doubt still when game week 9 comes around, but we don't have anything more. Again, on all of these, wait for the press conference that will be taking place today on Thursday and tomorrow on Friday as well. Next up, moving up the pitch, we have Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka went off in the Champions League game, but they do have Manchester City at the weekend. Bukayo Saka seems to play every game, even when he's only 50% available. At the moment, we know that he is a major doubt for the game against Manchester City. There will be a press conference before that, but because of the nature of the game, I don't expect Arteta to give very much away. It does look like Bukayo Saka is playing with a lot of pain at the moment. Right now, we don't know very much. He is carrying an injury. He is a major doubt for that game, but the nature of the game means he could play in it. Then we have Pervis Estupiñán. Pervis Estupiñán is one we didn't really pick up until Wednesday, that there was a little bit of an injury concern for him. Pervis Estupiñán has been said that he's going to be out for a month or so. This will rule him out until about game week 11 or 12. It does mean as well he's likely to drop in price a couple of times. Do not go buying Lamptey, because between now and then they don't have great fixtures, and when he does come back, Lamptey may drop to the bench again. I do think selling Estupiñán is a reasonable idea because of the short-term fixtures, because of how long he's likely to be out for, and if you're on wildcard, I wouldn't go with either him or Lamptey. Moving again, we have Diaby. Now, the reason that I had to record this video again for the second time was Diaby. Diaby is yellow flagged. He has been ruled out of the Europa League game on Thursday evening tonight. We don't know whether he's going to be available for the Premier League. We are hoping for quotes after the game from Unai Emery about a little bit of an update on him. But again, he is a doubt. The final 2 are Son and Maddison. Those 2 we do expect to play. At time of recording, there will be a press conference probably on Thursday because they play early on Saturday. We will have a press conference. They're both playing with minor injuries, but we do expect them to be available for this game at the weekend. So, now all of that is out of the way, let's look at my top 5 players to buy. We have Matty Cash of Aston Villa is number 1. 4.9 million, but still the underlying data is really good for him. 0.5 expected goal involvements per 90 so far this season. With potential injuries that they have, it does mean that he might be back at right back, not playing quite so far forward. But with the fixtures that Aston Villa do have coming up, with the way that they are performing as well, I do think he's definitely my number 1 defender I'll be buying into my team. Looking at those fixtures, 4.89 points per 90 so far this season, 2 goals, 1 assist. He's a great buy. Next up is a cheap midfielder, and it is James Ward-Prowse. 6.3 million for him. Now, the next couple of fixtures are not ideal, but from game week 10 onwards, the fixtures for him and West Ham get really nice. One of the reasons a lot of us are looking to the likes of Areola on wildcard. Again, 2 goals, 3 assists for him so far this season. He's playing much further forward. He's on a lot of set pieces. I think over that fixture run, he could do really well. If you are looking for a cheap midfielder, particularly with Diaby being ruled out. Now, if you can afford Jarrod Bowen, I think Jarrod Bowen will score more points than James James Ward-Prowse, but it depends what you can do with the 0.7 million that there is between the two of them. I think 0.7, maybe 0.8. So just take into account, I think Bowen and Ward-Prowse are both great buys. Despite the next couple of fixtures, I think they can continue to do well. And then from game week 10, a lot of people will be considering buying them, so you can always just get one step ahead of the curve. Pick number 3, the major differential in this list is Dominic Solanke, 6.4 million and 2.5% owned. The fixtures finally turned, but he already has 3 goals and 1 assist so far this season. He is the main man at Bournemouth. If Bournemouth continue to look like they want to stay up in the league, Solanke is going to have to score goals like he did last season and like he's done so far this season. The underlying data is good, just about 0.5 expected goal involvements per 90. This just highlights how good Matty Cash is because his underlying data is better than Dominic Solanke. So Cash is a great buy. Doesn't mean Solanke isn't though. Everton, Wolves and Burnley in the next 3 fixtures is so good. Then it is 2 difficult ones in Manchester City and Newcastle. But from game week 13 onwards, the nice run of fixtures does continue. And you can definitely continue to own him and hold him for all of those fixtures. Next up, it is one of the few players who does have a flag at the moment, and it is Heung-min Son. Now, we do need to caveat that there will be a press conference, and we need to make sure that Son is going to start. At time of recording, what we know so far is he is carrying a knock, but we do expect him to be available for the game at the weekend and to continue to start up front for Spurs going into this fixture. The fixtures now for Spurs are so good, but even when the fixtures get hard, I think Son playing up front could be a season-long hold. We've seen how good he's been in both some of the easier fixtures like against Burnley, but also some of the more difficult fixtures like he did against Arsenal and Liverpool as well. Those fixtures are there. The underlying data is so impressive for him as well. For me, it's a no-brainer, and he's one of the most captain players going into the weekend as well. I put a captaincy poll up on Twitter, and 70% of you said you were going to captain Son this weekend. And finally, it is man of the moment. It is Ollie Watkins. He is the number 1 forward that I should be buying at the moment. He is in my wildcard draft and going absolutely nowhere. Despite some of the other injuries that might make me shake up my draft a little bit, Ollie Watkins at 8 million is going nowhere. No FPL asset has more attacking return since Unai Emery took over, apart from Mo Salah and Erling Haaland as well. The fixtures are great. The form is there. 4 goals, 6 assists for him so far this season. Yes, weighted particularly to the returns he did get in game week 7, but still before that, only blanked once so far this season. The fixtures are there, the form is there. He's so focal to what Villa are doing. If you need a forward this week, there is no one else you should be buying apart from Ollie Watkins. Again, if you have Alvarez, he didn't start in the Champions League, so he's probably going to start the weekend, but there is a potential move sideways up to Ollie Watkins given the upcoming fixtures. So we've talked about injuries quite a lot in depth at the beginning, so if you want injury updates on your players, go and watch the beginning of this video because I threw it in here just to be helpful, I'm hoping, to some of you. We've looked at defenders, midfielders, and forwards as well, at a variety of price points and a variety of ownership as well. One final time, the data in all of these videos does come from Fantasy Football Scouts. If you are interested, they're still offering 30% off with a link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. 1,000 likes on the video is always the aim. Subscribe if you are new around here. There will be a team selection, a final wildcard draft coming for you. It will probably be Friday afternoon. It will be quite close to the deadline because I need those press conferences before I finally make a draft because there's so much that we need to know before the deadline. But make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications as well if you want to get a reminder of that video when it goes live, as well as my deadline stream on Saturday morning. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back again very soon.